Hello, dear students. I hope you are all fine, safe, and taking all the reinforcements to get better in your health. Today's class in geography, you're going to use your LBS geography book, your notebook to take some notes, and just for you to know, we are going to be covering the page 107 of your LBS. You don't need it right now. You just need to listen to this information, take notes about what is important, and later on we're going to go through your LBS book. Okay, my dear students, before we start this class, and for you to understand this presentation, I need you to copy this on your notebook. First, please write the title. The title is Growing Population. Please write the date and write the following vocabulary. The first word is measurement. Medida. Please repeat measurement. The next word is species. Especies. Please repeat species. The next word is increase. Aumenta. Increase. Repeat. The last word is indicators. It is not the last word, I'm sorry. Indicators. The next word is growing. Growing means crecimiento. Please copy crecimiento and repeat growing, growing. The next word is decline. Please repeat decline. Decline means disminución. Please write down the next word is decrease. Decrease. Decrease means disminución. Please write the following word vaccination. Please repeat vaccination. Make sure you write it with double C, please. Vaccination means vacunas. And the last word is unemployment. Make sure you write it. Unemployment. Desempleo. When you pronounce this word, make sure you pronounce the M. Unemployment. Now we can continue with the following class. As you can see, this is a difference between the term of population and population growth rate. Population is a group of the same species living in the same place. But we're not going to use this definition. What I need you to write down on your notebook right now is this, the population growth rate. This definition is important for you because every time we talk about population growth rate, we're going to use this term talking about how many people lives in the same place. It is not the same thing, a population of bees population of fish, population of bird, population of human. It is not called just population, it's called population growth rate. This is important for you to know, and I want you to please write this down on your notebook. This term, that is, I want you to check it out and copy, please. Important for you to know, students, that this measurement of people, it is not every year. Dependent of every country, for example, in Mexico is every 10 years, but this count, it's different. So we give this information, Mexico give this information to the organization, the World Organization, who measure, and then we can measure and we get this information. For example, these world population percentages are from 2017. In the past 200 years, population growth rate has increased up to 7,005 million people. And you can say, how can this be? Because people, through the year, in these 200 years, has been many wars, 2 wars actually, and has been many problems, has been bombs. How this happened? How population changes? This is important, and this is very important for you to know. And we're going to consider it. But first, you need to know, how do we measure? How do we measure population rate? There are 2 ways of measuring it. The population growth rate has 2 different ways to be measured. The amount of people who live in a time period can be counted in 2 ways. The first one, it's called the natural, and the second one is the social way of counting. So it depends. This information could give us different numbers. I'm going to explain to you in the next slide what's the difference between one and another one. So when you hear population growth rate measurement, you have to first ask if it is natural counting or if it is social counting. Here, we are going to talk about the natural indicators. Natural indicators is the number of birth rate, how many babies are born in a different period of time, and number of deaths, or the functions of death of people through the time, the period of time that people is counting. That is called nature indicator, because it depends on nature, right? Here, we have social indicators. Social indicators depends on how many people live in a city, and they can move for different factors. I give you the example for that in the measurement of people in the 2000, I did not appear in the rate of Culiacan because I was not living here. So remember, the number of organisms enter of living in a city is a social indicator of counting. That depends on the immigration or the emigration. This is a topic we're going to talk about later on. Growing of the population, we're going to analyze, because today we're going to talk about how it grows and how it decreases. First, we're going to talk about growing. The term of overpopulation that you can see in the second line in here means the condition where many humans are existing in the same place. And this is a condition that exceeds the carrying capacity of the earth. Overpopulation, it is caused by a number of different factors. One of them are the declining of the death rate. That means that many people are not dying as much as it was before, and that's mostly because of the better medical facilities. That means there are more and more investigations and more medical advances like vaccinations, where you will find a different way of getting better, and because of nutrition, because of vaccination, and because of medicine that will cure, that will reduce the death rate. Also, believe it or not, there are places in poor countries where families decide to have more children, so will they have more people to get money at home when they grow up. They also get children to go to work, so they will get money home. That, of course, is not correct, but that's one of the causes of overpopulation. Other causes of the population is the technological advance in fertility treatments. Nowadays, people can get different treatments so they can get family. A different type of growing population, but is also one of the causes, is immigration, because many people prefer to move to developing countries like the US. They want to go to live to Canada, to US and Australia, or different places in Europe. Sometimes because they can get more education, better security, better employment, better terms of medicals. So this results mostly in the establecerse. People goes and settle in there, so they will know and create a new life in there. In countries of the third world, we can find more lack of family planning. They do not plan how many children they want to have. And this is because many reasons. Maybe because they don't know, they don't have education, they are afraid of it, or sometimes it is something very expensive, caro. It's very expensive to have a plan of parenting. All of these factors that you were analyzing before, the causes of population growing, are making this world just overcrowded. And this is another word you will find at the end. The effects of the population growing actually are very severe. The first of these depletions are the resources. Natural resources are less and less, and our earth is suffering because of the loss of control of the population wanting to take advantage of this. The earth only can produce a limited amount of water and food, which is falling short. And this is because a lot of people want to cover their necessities. Most of the environmental damage, it's being seen because of these years where people do not take care. But there's a lot of people not taking care of the planet. People is cutting the forest. They're hunting wildlife in a way that is reckless, insane. This causes pollution. And all of this create a lot of problems. This overpopulation has taken very acts of violence and aggressive aggressions in the zones where people are fighting for territory, for government, for food. They compete for forces. This gives the people who live in there a high cost of living, and it raises the unemployment rate. It also raised the number of vehicles and pollution affected with the CO2, melting the polar ice caps and changed the climate patterns. With a higher number of population are China, India, United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, and Nigeria. And these countries must reinforce a high element education so they will realize how damage they've been causing. In the other hand of population growing, we have population decline. This is called also depopulation. This is the reduction of humans in a human population. This might be caused by many events. For example, this could be the result of economic recession or food resources decline, or maybe the high death rates through violence in some places. When people moves away from the village, from their jobs, from schools, from shops and other facilities, and so this population disappear. In this situation, government needs to implement different things because we are going to analyze. We can think, no, this is not a problem, but yes, it is a problem. And the reason that there is a problem is because it's causes. The causes will be, as we see in this little picture, when young adults finish studying, they want to develop their lives in the places, in the big cities. The better educated people decide to move to large towns and cities because there's more entertainment. So in the other village, the village that left, there are few children and few children are born. When we see populations with a small quantity of people, we can imagine also there will be less houses, less schools. They don't need it. So these are not places where business can grow. People don't want to move to little places. And this is dangerous for a government, for a country. One of the reasons, and the main reasons, as you can see in the picture, is like the few people who still stays at the towns has to carry with all the problems from the population, from the elder population. I want to tell you, elder means people from 70 and up. When we have a balloon, a notebook, an object, we call it old things. But for people, we don't call them old, we call them elder. So here in this situation that we're analyzing, there is a lot of elder population and few young people who decide to stay at the town. This will give the young adults, a lot of carry, and reduces the capacity of the accommodations, reduces the capacity of health, and of course entertainment. Can you imagine living in a town where there is a lot of elder people and you and maybe your friends, your group, are the only people who are there for them to help? There are few places to go, theaters, cinemas, concerts. These facilities are very probably none. So people have to travel to big cities to get some services like medical care, like any other type of situations, and they have to travel. It is important for you students to know that being small country with few people, it's very different than being a big, large kilometer city with few people. These that you see here are some countries with lower number of population. But for example, take Vatican. Vatican, it's a very small place with very few people. So no effect has this decreasing of population. The problem comes when we have big countries with few people. At this moment, please, I will ask you to go to this link. This is a video in Spanish that will explain to you some of the 5 of the less populated countries. We're going to stop here and then we'll continue to the
diminutos estados que no tienen más extensión que una ciudad promedio, siendo los más pequeños las micronaciones situadas en Europa o algunas islas a lo largo de los océanos. Veamos cuáles son los 6 países menos poblados del mundo.
Number 6.
Europeo situado entre Francia e Italia. Es un principado no muy lejos de los Alpes, siendo la segunda nación más pequeña del planeta por lo que respecta a la extensión. Es uno de los estados más ricos y con más calidad de vida de sus ciudadanos, contando con una población de unos 36.000 habitantes.
Number 5.
San Marino es un país europeo situado dentro de Italia. Es una república, siendo el estado soberano más antiguo del mundo. Se encuentra en una zona montañosa cerca del monte Titano y cuenta con una población de alrededor de unos 32.000 habitantes.
Number 4.
Es un país de Oceanía situado al norte del continente.
Palau.
Es un conjunto de islas volcánicas del Océano Pacífico. Antigua colonia estadounidense, se independizó recientemente, siendo uno de los países más pequeños del mundo, contando con una población de unos 20.000 habitantes.
Number 3.
Es un país de Oceanía situado al norte del continente. Es un grupo de islas en el Océano Pacífico expertenecientes a la Gran Bretaña.
Tuvalu.
Es la segunda nación cuyo territorio está más bajo sobre el nivel del mar, por lo que en un aumento de las aguas podría causarle problemas. En total tiene unos 11.000 habitantes.
Number 2.
Nauru es un país de Oceanía situado en el norte del continente. Es una isla sita en el Océano Pacífico que se independizó de Australia hace poco tiempo. Su economía se basa en la explotación de fosfato y es el segundo país con menos población del mundo, ya que tiene unos 10.000 habitantes.
And number
El
1.
Vaticano es un país europeo situado cerca de la ciudad italiana de Roma. Conocido por tener como jefe de Estado al Papa, es el estado más pequeño del mundo y el menos poblado. Se independizó de Italia en el siglo XX y actualmente cuenta con unos 932 habitantes.
Hey dear students, this is now time for you to work. Don't worry, you won't work alone. I will work with you. On your page 108 of the Geography LBS, you will find the activity number 37. Please take a minute to check the map. Focus on the information on the rate, high population, medium population, and low population. According to this information and what we have heard just now, please answer on your iPad right now question number 1. What countries present a higher number of population? Take your time. Of course, you can investigate more now that you're home with your internet available. Your question number 2 says, why do you think there are countries with lower number of population? And in this, I want you to please think not about the countries we saw in the video, but about those countries I talked to you before, where there's a lot of land and few people living in there. Why do you think this is happening? On your LBS also, we'll find the question number 3. Do you consider countries should keep a balance in the population growth rate? If you think yes, please research and give me some reasons. If you think no, I will also invite you to research and give me your reasons. This is a research question. Take your time to answer it. When you finish, please send a picture of your answers on platform. Okay, my dear students, I am very happy to be with you. I'm very happy to work in this presentation for you.
Please stay safe, stay home.